Welcome to the Pirate Handyman, where we teach you how to become more self-sufficient and save some coin for your treasure chest. If you dig what we're doing, hit the subscribe button down below. It doesn't cost you a thing, just means we'll show up in your news feed. And if you hit the notification bell, you'll be notified every time we drop a new video. Now, today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about how to make your tires last longer. And we're going to talk about three different things. First is tire pressure, second is tire wear, and then the third, which is kind of related to the second, which is tire rotation. So let's get inside the car and talk about an annoying little light. Okay, see that little thing right there? The exclamation point with a bagel around it or something? That's telling us that there's low tire pressure someplace. In some cars, it'll actually tell you which tire is low, and in some cases, you don't even have one. So you just need to check this probably 3-4 times a year. You want to check your tire pressure. So let's go back outside and we'll talk about tire pressure. All right, this cool little thing here is a tire pressure gauge. And I like to use this to check the tire pressure as opposed to using the tire pressure gauge that is attached at the gas station when you go to get air there, or if you have one of these units. Now, the first thing you have to know is where you're going to find how much air pressure you need in the tire. Every car should have one of these stickers here. It's usually on the inside of the passenger door, and it could be on the door itself, or it could be on the doorpost. You see, it tells us how much air pressure, and it says PSI. That means pounds per square inch. How much PSI you need to put in each of the tires. Now, the only caveat that I would say here is if you have have special tires that you've bought, special rims, then you need to check with the dealer to find out if it's going to be different than this. Okay, so why do you want to check your tire pressure? Well, it's going to cause uneven wear on your tires, which means you're going to have to replace them a lot more often. And that's the whole idea here, is we want to save money and make the tires last as long as possible. We'll talk about wear in just a second, on how the tires can wear unevenly. But let's talk about the inflation. Now, we just saw that we should have 35 PSI in each of these tires. I like to use this little tire gauge. You can pick them up for a couple of bucks at an auto parts store, probably even at like a 7-Eleven, something like that. And I like to use them because sometimes the ones that you use at the gas station, those might not be accurate because of the rough treatment that they get. This unit here is just a little air compressor that plugs into the cigarette lighter in your car. If you have a big air compressor in your garage that you use for other things, that'll work well too. But I don't have any use for any other type of air compressor. So this one actually doubles as a trouble light. It has a flashlight on the front of it. And I can inflate my tires whenever I need to, whether I'm out on the road. Maybe I picked up a nail in the tire and it's got a slow leak. I want to make sure I get to a gas station. But anyway, this is something that you can use at home. So I'll go ahead and check the air pressure. Now, you take off the cap, and I like to set the cap right on top of the tire, because that way I know right where it is and it's not going to roll away. So I check this, and you can see I've got about 30 pounds of pressure in here, and that's too low, so I'm going to have to get some air in the tire. Now I'm going to check all 4 tires. I won't make you suffer through that right now because there's no rocket science in adding it. But the second thing I want to talk about, which relates to this, is while you're filling these up, you can actually look at the wear patterns on the tires and see if you have a problem. Now, if you have tires that you haven't kept properly inflated, in other words, if they're underinflated, they're going to have uneven wear all the way across. And you're going to have some gripping problems, especially when it's wet or when it's icy. If they're overinflated, then the wear pattern, you're going to have them wear more in the center of the tire. Now, if you see a wear pattern where it's wearing just on one side, it's not wearing on this side, it's wearing on this side, or vice versa, check the other side. And again, if it's wearing on the outside of this tire and the inside of the opposite tire on the opposite side of the car, then you have a problem with the alignment. Now, some cars have just front end alignment, some have front end and back end alignment. Now, an alignment is going to cost you about half as much as one tire. So if you see that uneven wear, as soon as you see it, take it into your favorite mechanic and have them do an alignment, either front end or front end and rear end. They'll check both. But that's going to save the life on your tires also. Now, the third thing I want to talk about is tire rotation. Now, about every 5,000 miles, you want to rotate the tires. And what that means is the tires that are on the front, you want to put them on the back, and the tires that are on the back, put them in the front. Now, if you look at your user's manual, your owner's manual for the car, it'll tell you if they suggest a certain pattern. And what that means is when the back tires come to the front, they might cross. So your right rear is going to come to the left front, your left rear is going to go to the right front, and then left front will go to left rear, right front to right rear. Now, you want to check with where you purchased the tires, because sometimes they'll do this for free. And like I said, I would do this every 5,000 miles because it's going to make the tires last longer. The reason for that is, like in this particular car where the engine is in the front tires are going to wear faster. Also, they're going to wear faster because they're turning, so there's more friction. So you put those on the back, let them rest, bring the ones in the back that haven't worn as long, and that trade-off is going to make them last a little bit longer. Now, if you don't have them, if you can't have it done for free, check out the video that we have on changing your tire, and we'll talk about tire rotation there. Now, after you've done checking for the wear, any wear patterns on here, if it looks like it's wearing pretty evenly but it's getting a little thin and you want to know is it time to change, this is a tried and true test. It's called the penny test. So you just take a penny. I'd love to use a doubloon, but it doesn't have a head on it.
Fix your papa pirate.
And you just insert it in the tread. And if you can't see the top of Lincoln's head, then you got enough tread left. As you can see here, I put it in again. Can't see Lincoln's head. Put it out here, I can't see Lincoln's head. So that's a great way to know whether you need to go in and maybe get the tires replaced. One other thing you need to check if you live in a hot climate is cracks. Now, this does happen everywhere, but it happens a lot more frequently in the Southwest, especially Texas. So thanks for joining the Pirate Handyman. We hope you dig what we're doing. If you do, leave us some comments down below. If you have a different way to do some of these things, or there's something you want to see, put that down below in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. And remember, we're here for you to help you save coin in your treasure chest. So here's to smooth sailing, and don't forget, hit that subscribe button. It's free.